Okay, so I just posted a pretty comprehensive, I like to think, South Shore real estate market update with real practical tips for buyers. But let's talk Marshfield real estate specifically. So for any homeowners or home buyers, this is your Marshfield real estate market update. If you stick around, I have one big tip for home sellers, and I have another big tip for home buyers. I'm Craig Power with Power Realty Advisors. I work with buyers, sellers, and investors. I'm a real estate broker. The intent here is real actionable advice. I try to give it away for free on the YouTube channel. And everyone should know my Marshfield credentials are strong. I'm a resident. I grew up here in Marshfield. I won't get into all of it, the background. For real estate purposes, I'm sure my contact info is all over this video. So let's get into it. First thing for you to understand, and I'm going to open the MLS here and just let it rip. I want to do this more. First thing for you to understand is everything is under the shadow of these rising interest rates. Of course, that's the national headline. Interest rates are going up at a record pace, a blazing pace. And as interest rates go up, people's buying power goes down. So the way it will manifest itself around here is this. We have had insane home price appreciation the last year or two. That will be stopping soon. We can all agree it felt unsustainable at times around here. What you're going to read about here in the financial news is articles about market catastrophes get a lot of clicks. And admittedly, I haven't been through decades worth of real estate cycles. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I always say this, don't buy the fear, right? I am not a market crash guy. We still have an overall shortage in inventory, right? And we don't really see any reason there would be a sudden rush of inventory. And to this day, we have a ton of buyer demand. So anything you're seeing on pricing is not representative of a bubble, as far as I can see. It is just a natural consequence of higher borrowing costs. On Marshfield specifically, my generation, right? I'm 34. I work with so many buyers who want to live in this town, some that are only looking in Marshfield. They're holding out for Marshfield. Rather than settle for a house in Plymouth, they're more concerned with working on their own financials to buy in Marshfield, not knocking Plymouth. Just a lot of people who are looking for Marshfield want to be in Marshfield, right? They're focused on that. That's really their only thought as far as home buying goes. So the thought I'm getting to is, back to the national picture. You heard about some southern COVID markets like Florida and Arizona that blew up in the last few years. I think you may see, and I don't know, real estate is very local. Like I think you may see price declines there, like market corrections as buyer demand wanes. But in these desirable suburban markets, like our little New England beach town here, property values should be less affected. I don't think values are going down, at least not more than like a temporary slight dip. I just think they're going to go up a lot slower from here. Slower is a good way to describe the real estate market of our immediate future, right? And I just almost knocked a cup over here. Classy. This is, hey, we're going live. I talk to other brokers all the time, right? I'm going to be honest. I love shooting the breeze with other real estate agents. We're a very reactionary bunch, right? So I'm already being told like it's a completely different market. It's a completely different market. Buyers can't buy in this market. Someone needs to explain to me why it would be better to buy a year from now, right? Or 2 years from now than today. Are you trying to tell me that both prices and rates are going to be down next year? I don't know, guys. That sounds like, wishful thinking for buyers. So, and don't get me wrong, like we should see a flattening of prices. We're kind of already seeing it, but a real significant decline in prices, I don't know. I'm going to put this cup over here. We're not going to see prices start to nosedive. I can't imagine that. We're just seeing like the early signs of a shift. We're leaning into the turn, and in most ways, I really do think it's a good thing overall. Properties just aren't going to sell as fast. So before I get into, our tips for buyers and sellers, let's open the MLS here and quickly talk Marshfield inventory today, right? Let's take a look at the median sale price for a single-family home in town for the last 6 months. Okay, let me do this. Am I breathing into this microphone? I feel like I'm very close to this microphone. So let me do this. So the median sale price for a single-family home in town for the last 6 months, it is $688,500. So, of course, with these real estate stats, it makes more sense to work from the median than the average, so you don't get too much extra weight from an outlier property. Let's take a look at available listings. So we're going to kind of double back here. Bear with me. And in Marshfield, we have 31 houses on the market. Anyone who's been paying attention since the winter, beginning of the year, knows that that's a decent number. It's a growing number, and as it grows, as local inventory grows, we should see a lot less craziness, less multiple offers, right? That's already declining, like I was saying. All that way over asking stuff. Hopefully, I keep talking in these videos. I've heard about unicorn offers, right? And it's people who are just bidding against themselves. They're coming in aggressively, way over offer. Offering way over asking price and waiving contingencies, and they're the only offer, right? So they could just come in and ask with an inspection, and they're so tuned in to the market of 3 months ago. They're so committed to that competition or pre-programmed to that competition that they're the only offer. Getting back to the stats, the median list price in Marshfield today is $895,000, right? That's the median list price. That's just crazy to see. And the median days on market has been slowly ticking up. I've been checking up on this. So now it's mid-30s, 34, 35 days on market. So let's do some home buyer advice. And let me give you an example, because I had one that I pulled, what I'm talking about here. This is advice for buyers. I had my eye on this listing, Alabama Street. And I'm not airing anything out here talking about these listings, right? I know this is, whatever. I'm trying to be sensitive, but I just want to offer an example, right? So in our South Shore summer market update, and I'll link it here. Like I said, pretty comprehensive, highly recommended viewing. And that I was saying, well, I'll summarize. I said I'm advising people to keep an eye out for stuff that sits on the market 6+ days, price drops, and back on market tag. So what you see here with Alabama Street, back on market due to buyer financing, right? So keep an eye out for these. You're going to see this more, right? Especially in, like I said, the immediate future of our market. People get their offers accepted at the top of their purchasing power. Interest rates jump up, right? The deal falls apart. Property lands back on the market, not due to inspection, but due to buyer financing. So that could potentially present an opportunity. Now, this one has continued to sit since it came back on. Usually, again, speaking generally, that's a result of pricing. Just a general statement. Again, not proclaiming that it's overpriced. It's an awesome spot in Green Harbor, actually, not in the flood zone somehow, which is terrific. That's my big tip for buyers, okay? So search, look for opportunities, 6+ days on market. It feels today like we're in the 2018 market, right? Which I can tell you was slower. And when something sat for a week, that gave you an opportunity to kind of do some one-on-one negotiations. So watch for price drops, watch for back on market listings, just leave no stone unturned. That one-on-one negotiation is just the total opposite of a bidding war, right? So what's my big tip for sellers? Well, first let's illustrate. I wanted to pull this up too. Bear with me. I wanted to illustrate these market changes. So as we get into this, I'm going to bring up the Freddie Mac Primary Mortgage Market Survey. I just check this from time to time. It gives us the average interest rates for a home buyer today. One moment. And look at that. So it's all the way up to 5.78% as of June 16th, almost up 3 full points from this time last year, up over a half point since last week. Sellers, right? So, if you're a seller, your audience of buyers, right? This is evidence that your audience of buyers is losing their buying power. It's getting crushed. So if you're an owner that could be selling this year, this is my big tip for you. Be cautious about listing dates, your first open house weekends, and pricing, right? First of all, right? I don't know. It's like what, June 19th, June 20th. First of all, I'd say don't list today. Literally, like, I know that sounds weird. Don't list today. Flat out, don't list today or for the next like 3+ weeks, right? Don't list until like at least mid-July. Market's too weird, and chances are you already were or weren't planning to sell, put your house on the market here. I doubt anything I say is going to really this thing will probably have like 9 views a month from now. But, I have to say it, right? Like, I mean it, especially in the wake of this rate hike. Let things just simmer for a minute. And when you do list later this summer or later this year, proceed with caution. Timing matters, right? You want to think about this. The selling process is just not as foolproof today. It has to do with these rates, and you still want to sell in the first week, right? So hedge your list price lower and list on a weekend where you can capture the full market. I'd say, end of July and first half of August are good. And after that, you'd probably want to wait again until mid-September, because like the end of August and Labor Day weekends are very hit or miss between the last days of summer and the start of the school year. You really want to pay attention to this stuff. This stuff matters in a slower market. And again, speaking to you from, I'm a no market crash. Like, if you actually think the market is tanking or something like that, like, we fundamentally disagree, and maybe you feel a reason to like rush your property to the market and get it on tomorrow. But that would just be sort of like we see the market very differently, right? Beyond that, if you guys want to tour any of these new Marshfield listings, you just give me a ring. Hopping back on the MLS here. This was just a trial run, just opening the MLS and spitting some real estate game at you. So thanks for sticking it out with me. I'm going to gut out quick before I say something stupid and ruin the whole video. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave a comment, whether you like the video, hate it, you're happy, you're sad, you just need someone to talk to. I'm here. I'm going to go. Contact me at Craig@PowerRealtyBoston.com. Thanks, as always, for watching. Bye-bye.